Nonverbal signals carry 5 times as much impact as the verbal, which means what you do often has a lot more impact than what you say. Stand out from the crowd by learning the skills and techniques of effective nonverbal communication. I'm Robin Hatcher, owner of Speak Etc. Welcome to the Power of Nonverbal Communication video series, a program designed to give you the professional advantage in all your face-to-face communication. Today's topic, hands and arms. To gesture or not to gesture? That is the question. Actually, there's no question in my mind. It's been proven that gesturing adds to the impact of your words and makes what you say more memorable. So, say yes to gestures. Clients I work with seem to live with the fear of over-gesturing. Yes, it is possible to over-gesture, but those cases are rare. More common is the person who stands stiffly with hands at their side. Most people rely on visual cues to assess the energy of the speaker and the importance of the message. Hand and arm gestures give your listeners vital information. Let's talk about effective gestures in the standing position. Standing posture should be feet hip distance apart, knees slightly bent, your weight forward, and your hands should hang loosely at your sides, ready to gesture. Gestures should start at your elbow and happen above the waistline. Hands should be relaxed and your palms should face up. Avoid pointing at all costs, chopping, gesturing with your palms down, or gesturing from your wrists down. Looks weird, huh? But I've seen it happen. If you have trouble completely relaxing your hands, this is okay. Or this. There are positive options. The key to effective gesturing is to make sure that the gestures are connected and related to what it is that you're saying. Over-gesturing occurs usually when we gesture just to be gesturing with no connection to the words. What you do with your arms and hands during face-to-face interviews, sales meetings, and other conversations is also very important. You still want to leave your hands free to gesture, so leave them loosely on the desk, table, or if neither of those are close enough or available, on your lap. And, unless you're being reprimanded by a nun, don't fold them. Folding hands, arms, or any other body part for that matter is something you're better off avoiding altogether. It can make you appear defensive, closed, negative, unsure, or insecure. What to do instead? All the hand gestures that are appropriate for standing are also effective in a seated conversation. Be careful with steepling though. Whereas it's a gesture that conveys confidence and self-assuredness, some people experience it as arrogant. If you're going to steeple, keep it low rather than high. It's less likely to be misinterpreted. Showing your palms occasionally during a meeting or conversation communicates honesty and openness. Interesting point. It's difficult to lie or be lied to when you have your palms showing. Most people seem to know that folded arms is a negative gesture, but here's something you may not know. Research has proven that in the folded arm position, you actually remember 35% less of what you hear and feel less positive about your experience. Here's a tip. If you're seated across from someone who has their arms folded, before you try to convince them of anything, try to get them to open up. Offer them something they will need to grab, a piece of paper to look at, a glass of water. Your message will be more positively received and remembered if heard from an open arm position. Remember, no one gesture should be taken out of context. Sometimes we fold our arms just because we're cold. Learning how to communicate more effectively with nonverbal communication is a great skill to add to your toolbox. But nonverbal signals happen in clusters, and their meaning can vary from person to person. So whereas each gesture will give you information, no one gesture will give you the whole picture. I hope you all now have a handle on some things you can arm yourself with for your next Do It In Person meeting. For more professional Do It In Person tips, watch the Do It Better in Person video series at doitinperson.com. I'm Robin Hatcher of Speak Etc.